From Keir Starmer, just because Britain isn't working at the moment doesn't mean it can't be fixed. With Labour, the work to deliver change has already begun. It will be tough in the short term, but right for our country in the long term. We are rebuilding a Britain that belongs to you. Oh, is that right, Keir? Is that right? A Britain that belongs to me? And all the people who've lived there for generations? It belongs to us. Really? Well, why did I just read this on the BBC yesterday? More than 25,000 migrants crossed the channel in 2024. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it belongs to people like me, does it? And considering we all know the statistics about exactly who's crossing on small boats, sounds suspiciously like you're building a Britain for thousands and thousands of unvetted, hairy-arsed men, many of which have hissing backpacks. Right then, some truly preposterous claims from Keir Starmer at the Labour Party conference today, all about how he's giving you the power and he's making sure you're going to be safe and free and happy in your ancestral homeland, when at the same time he's empowering an activist Home Office that purposely imports people that are of no use economically or culturally to anybody with a room temperature IQ or higher. It's painfully obvious. I mean, let's address that first of all. One of the things that the centre-right has always said is that, yeah, we need to sort immigration out. Yes, we need to deport all the illegal immigrants, but we should always have our doors open for people that are of use to us, people who have skills we need, who are going to bring talents that are going to benefit everybody. Which is why when I was a young lad in the 80s, we got immigrants in my school. Several turned up. There was a couple of Indian lads. And in my last couple of years of high school, there was two brothers came from Nigeria, I believe it was. But their parents were like doctors. We were importing scientists, medical professionals. We weren't importing, people like this fella, for example. From David Atherton, this a Mr. Joe Dacky, who works in a chicken shop, believes we are racist. He sees us as lazy and migrants like him run the country. How do you get a work visa to work in a chicken shop? How indeed, David, how indeed. Before I wax lyrical about it, let's listen to what this hateful young man that we've just imported to do menial jobs that really should be getting done by chavs who haven't worked for 11 years, or the Mick Philpotts of the land who do less work than John Wayne's safety catch. Those people should be doing some work. But instead, we import unvetted fighting-age men who are nakedly hostile towards us to do unskilled labour that anybody could do with no training.
What would you say is like a tough experience that you went through in your life, and how did you overcome it?
First part would be settling abroad in a country where the culture is different, where the people are different, where you've got no relations, no blood relations. So as a student, as an international student, it's very hard to be settling in abroad, and particularly in London, because they are racist. I'm going to be honest with you. They are racist.
Have you experienced it?
Yeah, I've experienced it a lot, because when I started my job over here, so I was working in a chicken shop, in a takeaway, and I've got a lot of stupid people. I've seen a lot of them. Color, it's about the color of your skin. So they're after your color. So that's the only thing. That's what I believe is the toughest part in my life.
How do you deal with that?
We need to realize that we are a legal citizen of this country, and we'll not come over here without visas. We are here on proper visas, and apart from this, they can't do anything to us because they're lazy people. They can't work by themselves. So this is the very reason they're allowing immigrants to come over here. And because we're doing the hard jobs over here, we are running this country. We're running this economy of this country. You know what I mean?
Where are you from, my brother?
Pakistan.
Now I paused it there because you see his face curl up in rage and hate at several points during that interview. If you look closely, there's a lot of times when you can see he's just filled with hatred. It's like, yeah. These are the people we're importing. I've told many anecdotal stories about the people I've met. It's happened on numerous occasions. There was a time when I was in the cinema out here and a young lass heard my accent and correctly identified where I was from in the UK, and I said to her, "Oh, that's strange. Most Americans think I'm Irish or Scottish. How did you know?" And then she started telling me this sob story about how she lived in England for a long time. She loved it over there. She had her own flat. She had a job. And then one day they sent her a letter and said, "Unfortunately, we don't think you earn enough money to remain in the United Kingdom." And this was a young American woman with 2 college degrees who was basically being forcibly deported because they didn't believe she was contributing enough to the economy. But this fella, whose face twists in rage when he's asked about the locals, posts, and then goes on to a fictional screed about how the UK is full of lazy people, despite the fact they conquered half the world when the islands were ethnically homogenous. I don't think lazy people would have built York Minster and St Paul's Cathedral and bloody Stonehenge, because it's probably quite hard hefting tons of stone into position. I don't think those people are lazy. I don't think the people that colonised half the globe and turned dust bowls and deserts and swamps into some of the most prosperous nations on earth, I don't think they are lazy people. I think history proves that they definitely are not even slightly lazy. But it begs the question, why are educated young American women being deported while we import hateful, historically illiterate, angry young men who are one bad day away from shivving someone in the face? Why would we be doing that? Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what my hypothesis is. You may remember my nemesis, Philip Rutnam, at the Home Office. Let's find a picture of Philip Rutnam and his staff, shall we? Here he is, courtesy of blackhistorymonth.org. Philip Rutnam, the race equality champion. As the permanent secretary and race equality champion in the Home Office, I am pleased the department is appearing in Black History Month magazine. And there's all of his staff at the Home Office, and as you can see, you've got blue-haired Whoopi Goldberg and lots of hair coverings, and it looks like a youthful Diane Abacus on the other side, and almost nobody that looks like me. And these are the people in charge, nay, trusted with the vitally important task of ensuring the safety of your wives and children by vetting the people that apply to come to the UK. And as I've said, you can check on Reddit. It is replete with examples of American, Canadian, Australian women, young lasses with good educations from nations that are twinned with us. We are, in a very real sense, related to these Anglosphere nations, and none of them can get a visa for love nor money because people like this are vetting them. Many of them are political activists, hardcore political activists, and some of them are deeply prejudiced, racist civil servant. Let's not beat around the bush. Racist civil servants who will look at an application, see that it's from a lady called Sarah Smith of Nova Scotia, and go, computer says no. But when Mr. Chicken Shop there, who snarls as he spits the words white, or they get given a visa. They are free to blowtorch chickens atop rusting shopping trolleys with impunity and feed them to you after you've had a couple of pints. Brilliant. Fantastic idea. No wonder everything's going so well in the United Kingdom. And let's be honest, I could probably only say this because I'm fortunate enough to be an asylum seeker in the United States of America. I dare say if my old mate Paz or Rotten Politics covered this type of subject, Philip Rutnam had dispatched the boys around their houses. And you might be treated to them almost finishing a live stream before suddenly getting folded over the desk by 5 black-clad police officers who promptly roger them with a prize-winning leak while their horrified viewers look on. So, that's about the size of it. I think it's obvious what's happening. I think we've got naked political activists working in the Home Office, purposely importing hundreds of thousands of unvetted fighting-age men for ideological reasons and denying the visas of educated Anglosphere young women and men who would be of no trouble at all. So, that's my hypothesis. If you disagree with me, please give me a logical and reasonable explanation for why badly vetted fighting-age men who work in chicken shops are given visas to the United Kingdom and young, highly educated American women are being forcibly thrown out of the country. All right? Let me know in the comments if you have any similarly good stories about it. I'm sure you do. I'm sure almost nobody doesn't know someone, a highly educated someone from a pleasant, reasonable, civilised place that has been unceremoniously hied out of the UK and replaced with a hairy, scary bloke from Somalia whose only luggage was 3 pairs of socks and a meat cleaver. So please let me know in the comments if you disagree, if you agree, or if you've got anything to add. And as usual, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.